Okay, so it's the day before the competition here in Tenerife, and we got some training diaries for you. There's not so much footage, but we did alright. We did get some footage. I was pretty much sailing the whole week, so it wasn't me doing the filming. Justina though, after she had the Miracle Man have a play with her foot with a few needles, more on that, well actually I'll tell you now. Basically there's a guy, Mr. Miyagi we call him, from the recovery centre here in Tenerife, and he was here fixing Adam Lewis's knees. This is Adam Lewis's flat we're sitting in. Thank you, Adam. That's by the echoey place. We haven't got a balcony, so we're here in the room. But yeah, he basically was here fixing Adam Lewis's knee, and he was looking at Justina's foot, and as we know she's got the Liz Frank problem, and basically the big toe wasn't really touching the floor, and she thought it was always going to be like that. And he sort of had a quick look at it, you know, summed it up like a used car salesman. Well, I think we can sort it out. Pulled out these big needles, poked them around in a few places in her leg, and then she stood up and hallelujah, she could touch the floor. So we had a few tears. It was quite emotional, but yeah. Anyway, so Justina got a foot fixed, but because of that she couldn't sail the next couple of days. So we put her on camera duty at the bunker, and she managed to catch a bit of the action. We've not had the crazy conditions like you get in Pozo, but we've had sort of 4750 weather. You know, a few little jumps going down, but nothing, you know, nothing special. A few little backies and getting some good wave rides. A lot of the guys are here, but still a lot of the guys still to turn up. Philip Costa turned up the other day, but he only sort of turned up for the afternoon and then buggered off straight back to Gran Canaria because the wind sort of dropped. But the forecast for next week for the competition is looking really good. So stay tuned to that. What's been happening this week? Like I said, Justina's been getting her foot fixed by the Miracle Man. They call him Mr. Miyagi. Oh yes, they do. It's Thomas from the recovery centre. So if you're in Tenerife, I tell you what, and this is not a sponsored link or anything, but just I would probably go there and get yourself checked out. If there's anything wrong with you, he will stick these needles in you like, and before you know it, you'll be off walking. Sort of Lewis has been in there getting his knee sorted this week because he tweaked his knee a bit, so he's been getting that. And he's been sailing obviously this week after he had his knee sorted. He went out there and he was getting a few nice hits. He's got his new sails. His new sails has turned up, which I think he had a bit of a hand in designing, so he was pretty excited to get them. And there's quite a lot of other new kit turned up this week. And talking of new kit, guess who's sponsoring the Tenerife Training Diaries? It is TWS, Tenerife Windsurf Solutions, which is sort of the old OTC. So the official test centre has now become Tenerife Windsurfing Solutions. Still the same sort of deal, but they're trying to make it a little bit more luxurious. So they're having less people in there. They've got the hot showers going on, and they've got all the new kit from all the manufacturers. So you can go in there, and they've got, you know, 100% carbon mass. So the sails are rigged exactly to the specifications that the main guys do. So Neil Pride, they give the best mast. For Simmer, they give the main mast, and this sort of thing. So all the top sails and top boards are in there. So if you are coming to Tenerife, you want to rent some gear, or you want to, you know, come and you want to try all the different boards. They've got the new Simmer boards in there. They've got, you know, they've got RDs. They've got everything coming this week. So from now on, TWS is the place to go. So big thanks to them for supporting the Training Diaries. So what's been going on in the water this week? Like I said, 5-0, sort of 4-7 action. I was out there, I was having a few little hits. Like I said, it wasn't full power, but you could get some nice hits. Ended up, I was looking at the video, actually there's one move, I don't know what the hell I was doing, but I ended up switch stance and hitting it off switch stance, and then messing around, you know. There's little waves here, which to Pozo, when there's sort of this much wind, you don't get much waves, whereas Tenerife always picks up a little bit of a wave, so little auto rotators and stuff like this. You know, it's been quite fun. I've had quite a good sail. Class Voggett, the best man, you know, best dressed, voted best dressed in Pozo. He's been out there and he was looking pretty hot. You know, some nice backside 360s and some good hits. So, you know, Class Voggett might be one to watch here in these sort of wavier conditions. Obviously, Moritz, I've had my eye on him and he's been slipping around. I'm not sure how big his fins are in that board, but he definitely was slipping around a few tackers out there. And I did catch one moment of him just getting a big smackdown, just like boom, just took him down. I think Jules Donnell's doing a back loop in the corner. I can't remember the clip exactly, but I remember Moritz getting a bit of a poof, and that's what we're going to see here in Tenerife. Like I said, the forecast for next week looks really good. So we've got live stream throughout the whole week in Tenerife. I'm going to be doing the live stream in between the heats, so we're going to have that. We've had a record turnout for the women. 20 women turned up, so that is a full women's fleet, probably the biggest I think we've seen on tour, so it's looking really good. Who else has been out there? Thomas, obviously Thomas Traversa and Alex Mussolini, they had a little bit of a duel going on. We saw them on the beach before they went out, and I was thinking, oh, something's going to go down here. And Thomas did start off too well. He had like this head dip sort of bottom turn, and then Alex was like one-footed backy and, you know, getting a few nice turns, then like a slipping around a really nice tacker, and I was thinking Musso's on it, but then Thomas, boom, frontside 360, you know, not much wind, but got such good whip and such good sort of power off the top, and you're thinking, okay, if the little man can do these in these conditions, a little bit more breeze, it's going to be an interesting week. So quite a few people to look out for. Also, other people to look out for. Here, you know, like we did in Pozo, we didn't get any wind, but the format is still the same. So 32 man, and then there's going to be 3 wild cards, I think, and the rest come for the trial. So the wild cards for this event, there's a couple to watch out for. Alish Sanley, we've talked about him before. He was injured last year. He's got a wild card for this event, and he's been sailing good. Seen him get some nice tackers, frontside 360s, one-handed back loops. So Alish is looking good, and a new person, probably a new name for a lot of you out there. He's a local to Tenerife. This is his home patch. This is where he trains and sails. He's a working man. He's got you know, got a family and stuff. But he can sail, trust me, and it's Jochen. I think he probably comes from Germany with a name like that, but this is where he lives, and he has got some moves. Frontside 360s down, just like it was pretty bad the other day, and he's on a 5-3 and just straight around 360. I've seen him land some nice one-handed back loops all the way off. So he's a true wild card, you know, sort of he knows the spot really well, and it's going to be interesting to see how he gets on. So there's a couple of wild cards for you. Obviously, I don't know actually who's in the trials at the moment, but I have seen Scotty McKercher lurking around the beach. He's been over the he was in Pozo, he's been back to Thailand to sort some boards out, and he's come back and he's testing. So has he got a spot in the trials? I don't know if he's even entered. I think last year he finished 9th. So he's going to be one to watch, but he's got some big turns on him, you know, little waves the other day, not that powered up, and he's still got that big gouge. So Scotty MC is out there. There's a guy out there, actually, we had a footage of doing the old straight-legged backy. Not sure who he is. We might have to give him a few tips, but we'll give him his moment of glory on the diaries. He was on a simmer, so here he goes. So he goes up, and it's looking nice, and then the straight legs come in, and he just overcooks it. He looks pretty nasty, I tell you. I reckon that could have hurt. But I mean, that's pretty much it for Tenerife. Like I said, we haven't got much footage. That's sort of the footage we've got from this week, but the containers are turning up now, so everything's getting ready. The tent's going up. Like I said, the event starts tomorrow, so I'm not sure if I have these diaries out before the event starts, but everything is going to kick off tomorrow. And the forecast, check this forecast. It's looking absolutely sweet. Look at it. The Wind Guru, 3 stars the whole week, and you definitely can't argue with that. So like I said, everyone's sailing good. Everyone should be turning up now. Not much wind at the moment. I'm looking at the windy tree. This is in Adam Lewis's apartment at the moment. I'm looking outside, and he's got a tree they call the windy tree. It's a big one, and if it starts to give it a bit of a movement, you know it's windy at the beach. So I'm looking out there, not quite windy yet, but I'm going to go and get my stuff together. So I'm going to try and do some training diaries this week, depending how busy I am with the competition and stuff. Maybe we'll get Justina doing it, who knows. So Tenerife Windsurf Solutions, they are supporting the diaries, so big up to them. Like I said, if you come to Tenerife, it's an awesome place to sail. We've got waves in Cabezo. You know, it's pretty full on spot when it's big, but if it does get too big, you go down to the wall, and if you've ever been, it just peels off the wall and it just gets shallower and then deeper as out, so you can never get in trouble. Then you've got Cabezo Bay for the sort of blasting free ride stuff, and that is where Tenerife Tenerife Windsurfing Solutions. The old OTC is now based, and like I said, he's got it all going on in there. I'm going to do a sort of maybe I'll get you the video round and I'll show you what he's got going on. He's done a few renovations inside, and he's got a maximum number. He doesn't like any more than 20, so he's really turning things around down there. So big up to Marco for supporting the Training Diaries, and if you do come over to Tenerife, give him a ring and cook up some gear from him. Like I said, he's got everything. He's got all the new gear, and maybe if you're thinking about buying something, you go in there, you test all the gear for a week, and you decide what you want to buy. So that's the place to go. So until the next time, like I said, I'm going to try and get more video through this week, maybe in some back behind the scenes stuff. I don't know. We'll see what we can do, but fingers crossed I can get it on. But like I said, forecast looks good. Tune into the live stream. It's all coming up.